Yo, what's up? Real Talk Darbs back at it again with another live. I hope everybody is having a good time. I hope everybody is having a wonderful afternoon because tonight, wherever you are right now sa mundo, we're gonna be discussing again a wonderful topic. So sa lahat ng mga nanonood, chill lang kayo dyan, palakpakan yung sarili nyo at nandito na naman kayo ngayon sa isang lesson ni Tito Darbs. The reason why we're discussing this topic is because the reason why there is this topic is because of one specific movie. I'm not sure kung doon ba nanggaling yon, pero I think that is one of the, kumbaga, reasons why sumikat siya. Okay? So, lang ha. Hindi na naman nag-ready si Tito Darbs. Yon. So, ano nga bang topic natin ngayon, Tito Darbs? Tito Darbs. Oh, ano? Nandiyan ka na naman. Kasi Tito Darbs, gusto ko pong malaman kung pwede na po ba akong jumawa. Oh, bakit? Di ba kakabreak mo lang nung isang... Hindi, Tito Darbs, kasi yung isa kong Diyos. So, dalawa yung jowa mo? Opo, Tito Darbs. Actually, 4. Grabe. Sana all. Anyway, Tito Darbs, gusto kong malaman kung kailangan ko po bang hintayin ang 3-month rule? O hindi na po. Kasi jowa na po ako, Tito Darbs. Sana all may jowa, di ba? Ano ka ngayon kay Bes? Siya 4 ang jowa, ikaw wala. Don't worry, Bes. Sasagutin natin yung katanungan mo later on. So the topic for tonight is usapang 3 months rule. Necessary ba talagang hintayin yung 3 months? Is it really a necessity? Do we really need to follow the 3-month rule? So, just in case you're living in a rock again at hindi mo alam tong pop culture ng mga Pilipino na 3-month rule, ang 3-month rule po ay pinasikat ni Basha. Ni Popoy pala. Okay? So, papakita ko sa inyo kung ano yung sinabi niya mismo sa line. That epic line when kinonfront niya si Derek Ramsey na malaki lang yung katawan mo pero kaya kitang jumbagin. Jumbagin ba yung sinabi niya? O suntok? Patumbahin. Yan! Ito po yung sinabi niya. Sabi niya, Bash, hindi mo ba alam yung 3-month rule? Lahat ng taong nai-inlove at nakipag-break ay alam yun. Bash, maghintay ka muna. 3 buwan. 3 buwan, di ba? Sorry, mali yung script. Ulit. 3 buwan. Di ba 3 buwan bago ka makipag-boyfriend ulit? Hindi mo alam yon. Bash, may 2 linggo pa ako eh. 2 linggo pa, Bash. Kating-kati ka na bang palitan ako? Di ba? Grabe. Tapos biglang sasayaw ng marikit si Derek. Okay, so ito yung sinabi at pinasikat ni One More Chance na 3-month rule daw. So 3-month rule is that it is supposed to be the time that you give to the person, yung ex mo, or yung tao na nakipaghiwalay ka, to settle things out. Kumbaga, it's a leeway na, kumbaga, it's a respect, siguro. It's a time for both of you to think about the breakup that happened. Kumbaga, meron pa kayong grace period, parang ganun. 3-month rule. So, maraming nagsasabi na kailangan mo daw i-follow ito, yung 3-month rule. Ikaw, ano sa tingin mo? Kailangan ba nating i-follow yung 3-month rule, mga best, or hindi? Well, merong iba nag-agree, merong iba na hindi. Pero why is it that there's people who literally wants to have 3-month rule? Ano mga advantages pag meron kang 3-month rule? Well, basically, it gives the opportunity for both parties to really think things through. In a sense that it allows them to somehow go back to the irreversible decision that both of them decided to do when like someone broke up tapos yung isa masyadong hindi pa sure. So baka that's a time for them to, baka nabigla lang yung isang partner na sinabi niya yung mga bagay na sinabi niya. So there's 3-month rule for them to think about it. Also, 3-month rule is also good in a sense that you don't allow yourself to jump into one relationship right off the bat. Meaning, bibigyan mo ng chance yung sarili mong mag-heal. Although, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can literally heal 3 months or kailangan mo talaga ng 3 months para mag-heal. Tulad nga ng sinabi ng Isang nag-comment kanina, we have our own different pace and different time to heal. So it doesn't necessarily mean na yung isa 1 week lang may jowa na siya, healed na yun. Hindi ibig sabihin na healed na yun. That could be that person's compensation to the pain that he or she is undergoing at that specific moment. Kasi maraming nagsasabi na pag nakita nila yung isang partner nila o yung partner nila, isang partner nila, ikaw ba si Bess? Yung partner nila na halimbawa after nila nag-break up after 1 year or 2 years or no, after 1 week or 2 weeks, tanggalin ko na to. After 1 week or 2 weeks, nagkaroon sila ng somehow meron ng iba agad. So ang sasabihin mo bilang isang partner, naka-move on agad siya kasi meron na siyang iba. Hindi po necessary yun. That's not the basis for a person to know that that person is truly moved on just cause meron siyang partner agad na nahanap or meron ng pinalit agad sa'yo. Ang tawag doon, bitter ka lang. Joke lang. Kasi, kanya-kanya tayo ng compensation on how to move away from a breakup. And most compensation is yung nang re-rebound. Nang hahanap agad ng kapalit. Which, it could be okay for a specific time kasi it might work. Kasi, I mean, to be honest with you, pwede mo actually gawin yun eh. And it's proven that you might really forget the person that you are with for a longest time kasi may kapalit ka. Pero at the end of the day, that's just a quick fix. It's not a solution. It's just lessening the symptom. Or kumbaga, tinitreat mo lang yung symptom but not the problem itself. And at the end of the day, or somehow in the long run, that would haunt you. That relationship that you have will haunt you if you come into a relationship that you're not fully healed. Mahirap yun. Kasi magkakaroon ka ng mga bagay, realizations later on, and then eventually mafo-fall out of love ka na dun sa taong yun because di naman talaga siya yung gusto mo. Gusto mo lang siya at that specific time. Because there's an advantage of loving this person at this specific time. Hindi mo talaga siya mahal. It's just convenient for you to love him or her at that specific time. Pitaya dyan. Ito, basahin natin to. Sabi ni Christine Yalong, I don't think so. Nasa tao naman po yun hanggat kailangan siyang makapag-move on. No need to follow that rule. It's up to you. You need to heal yourself first. Mahalin mo muna at ibalik mo muna ang sarili mo sa dati. Mahalin at bigyan mo din ng importansya yung sarili mo. Give yourself a break from all the pain that you're going through. Yes, that's right. Textbook wise, it's that's the right answer. Pero at the end of the day, I mean, ang dali kasing sabihin ito eh. I mean, I understand that the right thing to do is usually the ones that are the most difficult thing to act on or to execute. Pero somehow, there's a process for you to actually not feel the pain right away. This is the right advice, but it's very vague. Like, how can you heal yourself first? What are the things that you do? How can you love yourself more? Alam mo yun? I mean, you can. That's the right thing to say. But how? That's one of the most things that people will ask. Pupunta ka ng Pilipinas to Dubai, sumakay ka ng eroplano. That's right. I mean, yeah. Tama, di ba? Paano ka makakapag-move on after a breakup? Mahalin mo yung sarili mo. But that's too vague. Hindi mo alam na pag pupunta ka from Pilipinas to Dubai, kailangan mo ng visa, kailangan mo pa magpa-swab test para sa COVID, kailangan mo ng ticket, kailangan mo ng titirahan dito, ganito, ganyan. Those specifics is your responsibility to find out. Kasi most of the time, we're just too easily giving that specific vague advice. And that's fine. Pero at the end of the day, let's give practicality. Let's give practical advice to those people who need it. Dami ko sinabi. So yun, tama siya. I mean, bottom line, whatever it is that I'm saying to you, that's the bottom line of it. Love yourself, give yourself time. Don't jump into another relationship and develop yourself first. Pero what's the specifics of it? That's the question that we're supposed to ask. That's my point earlier about do we really need to follow the 3-month rule? If there was a 3-month rule, it's good to follow it somehow kasi this is safety for both parties. This is also a leeway for you to give yourself a time to heal, time to think, time to somehow process everything that happened. Diba? Sabi nga nila, do not make a decision when you're happy. Do not make a decision when you're sad or angry. Do it yung temperament mo or yung mood mo is normal. Because usually, when we are on a heightened experience or on a downer, kumbaga medyo sad tayo or we're very happy, we tend not to do or create the right decision. Yon. So do we really need to follow 3-month rule? In a sense, yes. There is an advantage of following it. Yun yung side na yun. So let's go to the other side. Hindi ko kailangan ng 3-month rules, Tito Darbs. Okay, ba't ka galit? Wala lang. Kasi I can move on very fast. And yung tao na yon, hindi ko naman talaga siya love in the very first place. Kaya hindi ko na kailangan ng 3 months. Kailangan ko na lang ng 2 days. Or 2 hours. Grabe siya. That's one of the things as well. Kasi there are also some people who still moving on during the relationship. I mean, that's the reason why most people don't need the moving on process. They don't need the 3 months. Kasi 3 months is a long time. Sa totoo lang 3 months is a long time. And if you don't really need it for yourself, there's no point for you to actually go back and wait it out. Because you could have been doing a lot of things with it. Ibig sabihin kasi ng 3 months rule, hindi ka pwedeng makipagkita sa iba. Hindi ka pwedeng makipag-meet sa iba in the span of 3 months. So, most of the people who doesn't believe in 3 months is that they might have the capacity to move on very fast, very quick because somehow, while during in the relationship, nandyan na sila. Diba? They're already on the process of moving on because they cannot already see themselves with this person already at that specific time. They already made the decision. It's just that they have to find means on how to say it to them. Pero yung process na yun, when they made that decision consciously in their head, sabihin na natin 1 year in the relationship, this is not, I'm just looking for a specific time to end this. Parang ganun. So yun, sabi ni Wen, very well said. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much. Alam niyo po ba na meron pa akong nirerentahang mga tao dyan na para pumalakpak? Tapos yung gano'n, may tumatawa din dyan sa likod. Pinipindot ko lang para parang hihilahin yung ano niya. Okay, cool. Again, as what I have mentioned, bakit mo ba ito this is about not about 3-month rule anymore. This is about knowing yourself, self-awareness. Kasi at the end of the day, hindi lahat, ang 3-month rule is actually very vague. There's no one, parang one size fits all policy. Kasi everybody has their own pace of moving on. So do not judge yourself if ever you moved on. You were not able to move on before. After 3 months, I mean, some people takes at least a year to move on. Yeah, depends on the severity of the relationship. Some takes few weeks. At the end of the day, you have to know yourself kung saan ka dun. And somehow, bottom line is that you're an individual that has the capacity to, be true to yourself. Tsaka, most of the time kasi, kaya tayo nagmamadaling mag-move on. Kasi nakikita natin yung other person was able to move on very fast. So, napipressure tayo because we feel as if we're losing. Di ba? Kasi porket naka-move on na siya, ako hindi pa. So, dapat palang mag-move on na ako. Although, they're not really move on. They're trying to do things that shows that they really moved on. Pero deep inside, hindi pa pala. And you're just tricking yourself. And you're putting... Again, you trap yourself in the opinions of others, which is your ex or the people that surrounds your ex. You want people that surrounds you and you want people that knows your relationship before to see that you're doing well after the breakup, that it was not your loss. And bottom line is it's detrimental to your own healing, sarili mong healing, because you prioritize their opinion over truly, fully healing yourself, your heart, your mind, your soul, your body, or anything that goes with it. So, if I were you, my friends, always have the capacity to not give an F to what others is saying. Kasi that is something, maiba ang topic. Pumapayat si Tito. Salamat naman. Gusto ko marinig. Bigyan mo nga ng jacket yan. Yung sleeveless. Opo, syempre, nag-workout tayo. Shout out to Coach Red. Ang ginagawa ko pong workout is online, by the way, via Zoom lang. Tapos, meron pa akong personal coach, si Coach Red. And very effective kasi monitored lahat, pati diet ko. So, maraming salamat. Gandang gabi, Kuya Darbs. Sabi ni Kenneth, ako too fresh only. It happened last Tuesday. I finally found out na may ka-live-in partner na pala siya. Tinago sa akin ng lahat at bigla na lang nawala at lahat ng promises, kasal, settle, everything. Then, hindi ko lubos maisip bakit niya nagawa yon without any reason para saktan ako ng ganyan. Pero bakit siya nag-cheat sa babae na kung totoo nga na mahal niya? Ibig sabihin, hindi ka talaga niya mahal. Di ba? I mean, I'm not trying to make fun of your situation, pero most of the time, we tend to base everything on what the other person is saying versus basing it on their actions. Kasi sinabi niyang mahal niya ako. Kasi ganito yung sinabi niya. Pero it's the opposite of what the other person is acting. So regardless of what he say, the actions are very obvious. Which is, he doesn't really love you that much at all. Diba? Bottom line, that's the case. And again, my friends, I mean, it's nice to hear people saying that they love you. Nice to hear those words. Pero, words are cheap, actions are expensive. So, I totally put my money in, what do you call this? Actions. I'll base everything on actions versus on the words that they're saying. Kasi madali lang sabihin yun eh. Very easy to manipulate as well a person whenever you say those things. Pero what's good is you can base it on their actions. If it doesn't match, then you know there's something wrong. So that's the case. And I hope that, to be honest with you, love, if iniisip mo na malas ka, actually, swerte ka pa nga eh. At least hindi ka pa nagpakasal. Mas malas ka kung nagpakasal ka tsaka mo nalaman na may ka-live-in siya. Mas okay na nga yan ngayon na hindi pa kayo kinasal, nalaman mo na. So take it as a blessing. Although it's painful, pero somehow that's good kasi ang mahal kayong magpakasal, ang mahal kayong magpaanal, di ba? At least ngayon, at ang masakit ding masaktan, di ba? At least hindi ka na gumastos ng kasal at annulment, nasaktan ka na lang, di ba? That's how you put at it. Ay sorry, bakit nga? That's how you look at things. Sometimes life is about perspective. It's what we look at and we focused on. And every day, if you focus on the things that you don't have, you feel sad always. But if you focus on the things that you have currently that most people don't have, like a job that you have right now, you focus because your employer is doing this to you, pinapaganon ka. Think about those people who doesn't have a job, di ba? And most of the time, gratitude is what takes us to places. Because instead of complaining, we are thankful for the things that we have. It could have been way worse, honestly. You have extra shifts kasi marami kang kasamahan na nawalan ng trabaho. It's nice. At least, you still have a job. Okay, nawalan ka ng trabaho. It's nice kasi at least buhay ka pa. Hindi ka nakaratay sa hospital, di ba? I mean, it's just about perspective, my friends, and how you look at the world. And you always have to find ways on how to be thankful on the things. Tulad ni Love, if you are in her situation, most people would blame that I am the most unluckiest person in the world. Kasi nga, ikakasal na sana ako, ganito pa yung nangyari. But if you look at it on a different perspective, you are one of the luckiest person in the world. Because, hindi ka pa nagpakasal, nalaman mo na, di ba? So, perspective, my friends, and gratitude, that's one of the things that you should be putting your head with instead of complaining on the things that we don't have. Fine, we can voice it out. But voicing out versus voicing out and doing something about it is two different things. This is not just in love life in general, but in life. Now, most of the time, most people are just very easy to say the things that they don't have complain on the things that they should have and voice out their frustration. Pero not everybody has the capacity to take actions into it. Isipin mo, kung sa tingin mo may problema, instead of you trying to point out that there is a problem, fine, you can voice it out so that people will be aware of it. But did you try to become the solution to the very problem that you're pointing out? Wala kang trabaho, sinisisi mo yung gobyerno. Wala kang ayuda kasi nag-lockdown, sinisisi mo yung COVID. Fine, I totally understand that. Pero here we are. What else are we gonna do? You cannot just tell me, kasi mahirap lang akong mamamayan at simpleng tao lang ako, wala akong magagawa kundi umasa sa mga taong meron. Then that's a losing formula. You will always have something to do as long as you find it. Every obstacle has you can always troubleshoot any obstacle. It's just a matter of mindset. See, I'm not trying to be toxic positivity na just because we are in this specific situation, dapat positive lang kahit na nalulunod ka na sa tubig. Positive lang, hindi ako malulunod. It's not about that. This is about optimism. I choose optimism any day. Na even if you are in the tunnel and it's dark, you acknowledge the tunnel being dark and wala kang makita. Pero you don't stop there. You still hope in your heart that when you continue to walk, there will always be light at the end of it. And that, my friend, is something that everybody should have. That capacity to walk despite of the pain, the hurt, the darkness. And choose continually reach that tunnel, that light. And even if it's not visible, let's go ahead and have that kind of optimism within us. That it pushes us to actually walk towards the end of the tunnel, towards the light, instead of us just staying there. Kasi my friends, you know this and I know this, that there are a lot of people that surrounds us that just complain that the tunnel is dark, but they don't walk towards the light. Real talk yun, my friends. So that's it. I mean, do we really need 3 months rule? Can we really... Is it really a necessity for us to somehow wait for 3 months? Yes and no. Diba? Depende yun sa'yo. At the end of the day, there might be a guideline and it's good. Pero siguro the thought of why this was created is because it is eventually helpful for you as an individual to somehow give yourself time to at least consider the things that you did, either kung ikaw nakipag-break, kung ikaw yung birinig, or give yourself time to heal. Kahit na hindi na lang makipagbalikan doon sa taong nanakit sa'yo or doon sa taong sinaktan mo, at least this rule gives us a specific point or a thought that somehow we all need that breather. We all need that time for ourselves to somehow give us an opportunity to focus on the things that matter, which is ourselves. Kasi most of the time, ang nangyayari, if you are in a relationship, we tend to focus our world to that relationship, which is not the case. It's not supposed to be. The partner that you have is it's supposed to be just the part of your world, but not your entire world. Kasi progress is what makes a man feel fulfilled. And if ikukulong mo lang yung mundo mo sa isang tao, that's a very small world. And most of the time, that's why most people get devastated when their partner leaves them or when their partner don't want them to be there anymore. It's because they made their partner their world. And yun ang nangyayari sa karamihan ng tao. That we tend not to do, and hindi na natin alam ang gagawin natin kasi nawala na yung mundo na ginagalawan natin, yung sa tingin nating mundo lang dapat na ginagalawan natin. You create your own world and you have the right to somehow make your own happiness, create your own kumbaga activities outside just the relationship because it somehow helps you as well to develop that relationship in the very first place. So wag kang aalis kasi I have just few messages coming from our sponsor kasi sabi ko nga, di ba? So, sabi niya, ako ginawa ko is nag-pray. Sinurrender ko kay God lahat at sakit na nararamdaman ko. It helps din, Kuya Darbs. That's good, Michelle. Yes, of course, that's also one of the ways for you to do it. Pero somehow, at the end of the day, the reason kasi bakit most of the time we feel helpless is because of inaction or lack of action. I understand. You're supposed to pray. You have to ask that guidance. Pero at the end of the day, God will not be putting strength to your feet and then guiding you without you having the strength to get out of bed every morning and doing the things that you have to do for you to move on. He might just be, he is there for us to guide us. Pero at the end of the day, we still are responsible for the actions that we have to do for us to get that, alam mo yun, to get that moving on process. So, anong gagawin mo kung sakaling ikaw na nga yung mga, halimbawa, eto, sige. Tito Darbs, okay, naniniwala kasi ako sa 3-month rule eh. Salamat, Simon. Bigyan ng jacket yan. Paano naman po, Tito Darbs, kung sakaling naniniwala ako sa 3-month rule tapos yung jowa ko or yung ex ko hindi nag 3-month rule, may jowa na siya agad after 1 week. I know that it's painful for you to find out that the person that you are with for quite some time already has a relationship right after. Well, I will not ask you not to feel pain because somehow it's painful nga. Pero it gives you 2 ideas that somehow this person that he is with right now might be there during that time. That could be a possibility na yung tao na yun ay nandyan na pala all those times. So what happens is it gives you an idea. Now you use that as a strength instead of a weakness because at least you know that the relationship in the first place was actually not as romantic and as true as you think it is. Yun kasi ang isa sa mga dahilan mas masakit mag-move on sa isang relationship na alam mong it could have worked, na alam mong things could have been way better. Pero if ever you found out the truth, that truth, use that as a strength, not a weakness. So yun, at least now you know that this person was not true to you. And if you really value yourself that much, I mean, you'd realize that, yeah, that what happened with us was actually for the better. And if ever yung partner mo meron ng agad jowa, tapos ikaw naghihintay pa ng 3-month rule, do not do the 3-month rule just because you expect the other one to do it as well. That's napaka-frustrating nun, tulad ng ginawa ni Popoy. Kasi in-expect niya na si Basha magti 3-month rule. In the very first place, hindi naman talaga jowa ni Basha yun di ba? Hindi naman talaga jowa yun It's just that, friend niya lang si Derek Ramsey. Pero Popoy was expecting Basha to practice 3-month rule as well. 3-month rule is not supposed to be imposed. It's supposed to be implemented sa sarili mo somehow. Kasi hindi nakaka-frustrate yun kung i-expect mo din siya to follow the rules and there was no written contract when you started the relationship na pag nag-break kami, okay, magti 3-month rule tayo, wala mo na magjojowa. Okay, pirmahan mo dyan, tapos pipirmahan ko dito, tapos notaryo natin. Walang ganon, Mars. Walang ganon. 3-month rule is not supposed to be imposed to someone. You do the 3-month rule not because you have the duty to do it to him, you have the duty to do it for yourself. Sarili mo dapat yun ini-impose, hindi dahil sa yun ang sinabi niya. Kasi, fine, let him be. That's her will that's his will And most of the time, ang mga tao na hindi kasi nagkakaroon ng shoutout pala kay Cindy Dunlap who's watching right now Siya po yung partner ko na dito sa NutraWay Systems. Siya yung sponsor and then I'm gonna be able to show you some of her contact details mamaya at saka contact details ko din. Anyway, walang ganon Kuya Darbs. Walang ganon, walang notaryo, bes. So what happens after that? You're not supposed to do it for him. You're supposed to do it for yourself, sa sarili mo, because bottom line, it's your responsibility bilang isang tao na to heal yourself first. Hindi dahil sa there is a rule, it's because you have to. This is, you have to be willing to do the most difficult thing to do. That is to heal alone without using someone. Kasi this is a prerequisite for you to have the right relationship in the future. Hindi pwedeng nag-glide ka lang sa relationship always. Na porket nag-break na to, okay, sige, pupunta ako dito sa isa kasi pwede kaming magjowa nito for the time being. Tapos pag okay na ako. That's not fair. You can date, fine, pero do not go into a relationship or a serious relationship. Please. And somehow, the reason why you need to heal yourself first, kasi cycle yan. Isipin mo ito. I want you to think about the relationship that you have now or the relationship that you have previously. Most of the time, if people don't take the time and effort to really heal themselves first, they jump from one relationship knowing that they have the previous baggage of the previous relationship. So, ginawa mo si Ben. Naging jowa kayo. Niloko ka ni Ben. Ang sakit-sakit. So, nag-break kayo, brinik mo siya. In 1 month time, masakit pa rin Iniisip mo pa rin si Ben. Tapos pumunta si Carlo. So, ginawa mo si Carlo para makalimutan mo si Ben. Pero hindi mo talaga gusto si Carlo Gusto mo lang makalimutan si Ben. So what happens is nagjowa kayo ni Carlo, naging okay kayo ni Carlo, tapos unti-unti mo nang nakakalimutan si Ben. So nung nakalimutan mo si Ben, nalalaman mo na hindi ko pala talaga gusto si Carlo. Pero napamahal na si Carlo sa'yo, pero hindi mo talaga siya gusto. Kasi nasanay kang nandyan siya, kasama siya. So brinake mo si Carlo. So nung brinake mo si Carlo, although hindi mo siya mahal, pero attached ka sa kanya, hindi ka sanay mag-isa, nalulungkot ka na. So maghahanap ka ulit. So nakilala mo ulit si John. So nakilala mo si John because you're trying to remove the feeling of pain from Carlo. Hindi mo ulit gusto si John. Okay lang, saktong pogi lang. Tapos, ang nangyari is, when that happens, ganun ulit. It's a cycle over and over again. There is always a residue of the past. That is the reason why you jump from one relationship to the other. And that's the reason why you're not truly have the capacity to be with the right person. Kasi you're not giving yourself chance to fully heal yourself, to have that state of mind that you're okay being alone and that you can decide, you can choose who to be with. Again, there is power in a position where you can choose versus the one that you are chosen. It's better to choose than to be chosen. Mas masarap na ikaw yung pipili kaysa ikaw yung pagpipilian. Ibig sabihin nun, you have to put yourself in a situation, in a position that you're supposed to have the capacity to choose. Paano mo gagawin yun? You make yourself worthy to choose. Diba? Kaysa sa ikaw sa mga pagpipilian. Mas masarap na ikaw yung pumili. Paano mo gagawa yun? Heal yourself first. Develop yourself first. Self-worth, self-love. Since day one, my friends. And it's not because you're selfish, but it's because you have to do that for you to achieve real happiness someday. And that when you're really, truly happy and you arrive in that specific spot, you can share that happiness to everyone. Selfish to be selfless. You can never give what you don't have. You can give what you don't have, but I'm here for sustainability and longevity. Hanggang kailan ka magbibigay kung wala ka? Only for a specific amount of time. Kasi mauubos at mauubos ka. You cannot pour from an empty bucket. You cannot fill an empty bucket if your bucket is also empty. Kaya ka magtatanong, bakit ganon dito, Darbs? Right? Yon. After 3 months rule, quiz, Darbs, ano sunod? After 3-month rule, ano daw susunod? That's a good question, ha? Shout out to Jomel. 3-month rule is just a figure. You don't have to literally follow 3-month rule. You can heal before 3 months. You can heal even after 3 months. But what you're supposed to do is you take the time to heal. You take the time to have the strength and get the strength for you to actually feel comfortable being alone. Develop that strength. Kasi most of us don't have the capacity, the power, and the strength to really truly be alone and be happy with it. Takot silang mag-isa. Kaya, kung merong kasama, okay na, kesa wala. What happens? You settle for less. So, somehow, at the end of the day, my friends, it's your responsibility to strengthen yourself. Focus on yourself. After the 3 months rule, enjoy mo lang yan, my friend. Enjoy that strength and never settle for less. And instead of you focusing on finding the right one after the 3 months, no, you don't. Focus on developing yourself because you don't find the right one, you attract the right one. Attract mo siya. And you're not supposed to do it for you to attract. That's just the byproduct of self-development. The byproduct of attracting the right person towards you is just the byproduct of really developing yourself. Self-development, my friends. So I hope you understand that after you have got past through the 3 months rule or on the stage wherein you're fully healed, instead of you again jumping into another relationship na feel mo, healed ka na nga, pero hindi ka pa fulfilled sa sarili mo, I think that somehow you have a responsibility to yourself na dapat mong alagaan yung sarili mo, dapat mong pagtibayin yung pangarap mo, dapat mong bigyan ng pagkakataon yung sarili mo to grow further. And grow further without actually iaasa yun sa iba. I mean, someone can be a source of your strength, fine. But that's a vulnerability. You can do that maybe later on. But as of now, it's good to have a foundation. And that foundation should come from yourself. Self-love, self-worth, since day one tayo. Self-worth since day one. Dapat alam mong pahalagahan yung sarili mo. Dapat alam mo kung paano mo mahalin yung sarili mo muna. Maging kompleto ka muna. Paano ka ba maging kompleto, Tito Darbs? Minom ka ng Centrum. Kasi complete. Ay, Centrum, baka naman ha. Shout out yon. Shout out yon. Pakitag na si Centrum dito. Paano maging complete? Uminom ng Centrum. How to feel complete. First off, ito kasi this is really out of the topic. I mean, not really out of the topic, but this is somehow in relation for you to actually really fully moved on, or for you to have the feeling of moving on, na naka-move on ka na talaga. My friends, I want you to understand na napaka-importante po na malaman mo kung ano yung gusto mong gawin sa buhay. Opo. Knowing what you want to do in life is already a gift, regardless if you can make money out of it or not. If you really truly know that what you want to do is to play guitar for the rest of your life, if you really truly know that you want to bake cookies for the rest of your life, if you truly really know that you wanted to help people by, I don't know, selling them properties, anything, regardless of what it is, if you really truly know that you can be a person that can connect, I mean, if you're really a person that really loves talking about Star Wars or an anime or anything or gaming, if you really truly know that from the deeps of your soul, regardless of what it is, it's a blessing. So, kasi once you really truly know what you want to do, you can put your time and effort and go all in on that. And we're happy and we're privileged to live in a world where internet is made, where 2020, we are living in a 2020 world. I mean, we could have been born in a war. Wow. In that our happiness is least of our priority. Real talk. We could have been born in a World War II environment. In that itong mga pinag-uusapan nating 3-month rule, it's very irrelevant. What's relevant is us winning the war. Isipin mo yun? Right now, we have the capacity to focus on ourselves and our true happiness versus being born in a world where it's very chaotic. That itself, you're supposed to be thankful for that. And what are you doing about it? You sulk around crying for a person that didn't love you. Why? You can love yourself. Make yourself your own happiness. Generate it. Bakit importanteng alam mo yung kung anong gusto mong gawin sa buhay? Kasi if you live in a 2020 world, you are able to build something around that. I'm very privileged to have finally found out after 31 years of existence. I know that I want to create content in the internet. That's what I want. Kasi even before when I was in high school, in charge ako palagi sa role playing, in charge ako palagi sa mga bagay na gusto kong about content creation. Pero wala pang internet nun. Pero that's what I'm inclined to do. And I just recently found out 31 years of my life. And I went all in on it. I quit my job, took the risk. I did not have as much salary as I had before, but it doesn't matter. I have now the capacity to build something for myself, not for the company that I work with. And I wish that strength and that wisdom to everybody else. Kasi that is a path towards true happiness. Hindi ka na maghahanap ng kaligayahan sa iba kasi ikaw mismo ang responsibilidad mo ay i-fulfill yung kaligayahan mo sa sarili mo, and that is pursuing your dreams, pursuing your passion. And going back to the question that we were discussing earlier, paano ka maging kompleto is when you every day do the things that you want to do and you build on top of that yung sa mga bagay na gusto mong gawin. Be it baking, be it cooking, be it vlogging, be it creating content in the internet, be it podcasting, be it anything. Once you really put your mind and effort into something that you believed in and you have a mission to do, that is one of the things that makes you feel complete. Progress is what makes the man feel happy somehow. Isa sa mga bagay kung bakit nagiging masaya ang isang tao, nagiging kompleto, is that when they find progress on it. Minsan, di ba, mapapansin nyo pag nagsusulat kayo ng to-do list, ang sarap ng pakiramdam na na-check mo yung mga ginawa mo. Minsan nga nakakalimutan mong isulat yung to-do list na yun, pero nagawa mo na, so sinusulat mo pa rin para lang i-check mo. That's a nice feeling because that's progress. And what's a more nicer feeling is when progress is happening and you're doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your own future, you're doing it for your own mission in life. And I wish that to everybody else. If you're trying to tell me what could be the ways for you to truly be happy and be complete, is find the thing that you really want to do. Find that mission. Kasi ako, right now, whoever is with me that can ride with me and see that vision that I want to see in the future, fine, go ahead. You're welcome on my tribe. But if you're a person, kahit na sino ka pa, if you're a partner of mine or you're a family member, yeah, I'm not saying na i-disregard kita. But the thing is, I'm ruthless when it comes to my dreams. Either you ride with me or I don't need you here. And you will only have that strength if you have something that you believe in beyond just being in a relationship. I hope you get this. I'm not sure if you're able to understand what I'm trying to say. And I'm not sure if I'm able to articulate it in a way that everybody can grasp it. Kasi kahit ako medyo nalilito sa sinasabi ko, but I know what I feel. And I wish that feeling for everyone. Now, real talk tayo, my friends. Let's go to the real talk right now. A 3-month rule. Do you have to believe on it or not? Doesn't matter. You do you. Pero if there's something that we can take away from the 3-month rule, and that is us giving ourselves the opportunity to somehow heal ourselves first. Dapat muna nating bigyan ng panahon at pansin yung pag-heal sa sarili natin. Isipin mo kung may injury ka sa knee, how can you play your best play on the next game kung hindi ka muna magre-recover? You will always play a game or you will always play in a sport or in an arena where you are not at your truest potential. And you don't want that to be in a relationship as well. Na kung broken ka, palagi kang handicap whenever you perform, palagi kang insecure, palagi kang may trust issue, palagi kang maraming iniisip because you're not really truly fully healed. So I wish everyone the strength to somehow face the pain of being alone, face the pain of somehow not being able to be with someone at that specific time. Kasi good things takes time to happen. So kung ikaw mismo makakayanan mong malagpasan yung mga bagay na ito, you're in for a very great ride in the future. Kasi somehow at the end of the day, there will still be a lot of things that can happen. And life is more than just about love life. I mean, it can help us, but bottom line is, before you have a love life, I mean, before you seek that love life to others, why don't you have a love life to yourself? I have a love life and I love myself. That's the best love life that you could ever have. And if you can truly really tell yourself that I don't need someone to make me happy, they might make me more happier, but I can generate my own happiness by pursuing the things that I want to do in life. That's the game. That's the bomb.